love the smell of napalm in the morning.
You see, we're on a mission from God.
Great Scott.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Hasta la vista, baby. Go ahead. Make my day.
I'm Ricky Bobby. You don't chew Big Red, then you.
Welcome to this episode of the Movie Zealots podcast. I'm your host, Tom, joined alongside my fellow Zealots, Joe and Paul. How you guys doing for this episode?
Doing peachy.
Couldn't be better.
Couldn't be better indeed. This is our second episode for the wonderful month of October. And this episode, we're doing one movie and one movie only. And that is The Joker. Or is it just Joker? I don't know. But that will
just
be our...
Joker.
Is it just Joker?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just
Joker.
Just
Joker.
The title is now Just Joker.
Just Joker. And that will be our feature presentation. But first, let's get right into From the Cutting Room Floor. All right. I have a couple things. I have a lot of things, actually, to go over for the cutting room floor. So I guess we're lucky that we only have one movie to review. Well, one real movie to review. The first thing I want to get into, the first thing I want to get into is the Joker movie. You guys both went to see it, correct?
Yes.
Did you both have added security, i.e. police officers in your theater when you went to see it?
No.
Did not.
Really? Oh, man, my theater must be bad because I did.
Well, I think it's more they saw you going in and then they were like, oh.
Yeah. Watch
Just
him.
Call the cops now.
Oh, interesting. So you guys didn't have any... I mean, there was clearly a police officer standing there. Well, I went opening weekend. Did you guys go opening weekend?
No.
No.
I didn't.
And there's usually police officers in that general area anyway.
Oh, yeah. See, we don't...
It is a well-patrolled theater/mall complex, and there's always cops. So for them to do extra security, you'd have to have like a riot shield.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. That was my last movie at that AMC theater. And as of right now, I still do not have the Regal Unlimited yet. I have not pulled the trigger on that one. But I will have to before our next episode because we have Zombieland and the new Maleficent movie. There's so many things. It's just I have not gotten around to any of that. October is a very busy month for me for my other podcast, for our other podcast, Joe, the Vacationeers. So we've been very, very busy doing the Halloween stuff. So, I don't do enough cross promotion on this show. So
we do not. We should discuss some vacation movies.
Yeah, something, So, go out there, check out our vacation podcast. We've recently released a Kennywood Park review. We've released a King's Dominion review if you like Halloween stuff, all their Halloween stuff. So, go and find out what we've been doing.
And then you go to the YouTube channel and you have a CCTV quality feed of one of the Road Warriors.
CCTV. Oh, come on, man.
It was tiny. It was a tiny head in the corner.
Oh, well,
you announced it on the audio and didn't get a video of him. I'm hurting.
Well, I announced it because I was walking. What Joe's talking about is in our Kennywood YouTube video, we're walking through the Halloween event, and off to the left is a character coming out to his station, and he looks like one of the Road Warriors from the old WWE days, or I guess WCW or what was that? Not WCW, the NWA. We'll go way back.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, the Road Warriors. And I said, "Oh, look, Road Warriors." And now then Joe's like in the comments of the YouTube video, "I don't see a Road Warriors. You say it."
You
like,
did,
dude, he's off to the left.
Not there.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, my video camera. Yeah, I just said it just because I saw it. It wasn't meant for.
I say you need to be cognizant that you're making videos for public consumption here.
I wish other people would take that into account because I can't tell you how many times I'm recording a roller coaster video and my buddy is next to me and he's going off on a conversation. I'm just like, just shut up. Really, for the next 2 minutes, just keep quiet. Let me record this video. Don't say a word. I'm trying to put this out. No one else wants to hear your stupid side conversation. But I digress. Well, anyway, I think we just cross-promoted enough for the next 8 episodes.
There we go. We had a backlog.
Also, last episode, you had asked Joe if we've ever had double zeros for the Alexa Quote of the Show game. And I have your answer. Not only have we have on multiple occasions. And let me tell you which movies. So you and Paul both got a 00 on the Waterfront movie, and that was one of the ones where Candy was also there, but she got 1 point. So it wasn't a complete wipe or a complete zero fest. She at least got a point, but you two both got zeros. Now here's a list of the other movies that you guys both zeroed, and you guys should be ashamed. Well, Network, not that one. Taxi Driver, 100% be ashamed. Taken, should be ashamed. Full Metal Jacket, Joe. Full Metal Jacket. This is before Chris, I guess, went to the Marines, because how did you not get Full Metal Jacket?
Right? I don't know how I could miss that one. That seems shameful.
That's ridiculous. Sicario and Deadpool 2. Come on. Really? Deadpool 2?
It's only the second highest grossing R-rated film.
Yeah, now, right? And both, now, there's one time you both got 10s. Just one time.
Oh, nice.
Do you know what movie? There's no way you're going to know what the movie is.
Godfather.
Nope. A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. Ah.
Very good. Very good. Hey, speaking of, what were we speaking of? Oh, we weren't speaking of anything, but it just reminded me. So let me put this in here too, because I don't have it in my notes. I have free HBO, because I have Fios, and I have free HBO Cinemax this weekend. So I checked HBO last night, and they had episode 1 of The Watchmen, their new TV series, on. So I watched it. Mm-hmm. Have either of you guys seen that?
No, I haven't.
There's a lot of unanswered questions in episode 1. There are some things going on. You're like, what in the world is going on? The one interesting thing, though, is during that first episode, I could not pinpoint one person with any superpowers. Like, everyone seemed to be regular, like just a regular.
That's how the movie was, right?
No,
except for Dr. Manhattan. Nobody else had powers, right?
I don't remember. I saw the movie. I liked the movie, but I have no recollection of what the movie was.
Well, it's supposed to be after the movie, right? The series?
I have no idea. Maybe. I know nothing about this. Paul, you need to really step in here because you know all this crap. So, find all that out and get back to me. Also,
a reboot, a remake, a soft reboot, or
I don't know what it is.
Classifications of it.
It was good, and I'm thinking I'm going to try to maybe check out episode 2, see what's going on. But there you go. I think that would probably be on tonight, actually. Now that I think about it. Also, I don't know if any of our audience has Verizon as their mobile carrier and have unlimited data. If you do, you get 1 year free of Disney Plus. They made a deal. They have a little promotion going. Now, I have that, but I already bought 3 years of Disney Plus. So I think I'm going to call Verizon and be like, hey, I already bought the service. Can I get something? Just throw me a bone. Anything. I'll take anything, literally. Give me a $5 credit 1 month. I'll accept it.
What are they giving? I don't understand.
1 free year of Disney Plus streaming service, if you have Verizon unlimited data.
Oh.
Current and new customers.
No. Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. But that's only the Disney Plus. So if you wanted to do a bundle, and I think they released a bundle price for like $13, $12 or $13 for all three: Hulu, ESPN, and Disney Plus. That would be per month.
Now, that doesn't include Hulu with live TV, right? Because
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm looking at getting that replacing Sling with Hulu with live TV.
Yeah, I don't have that answer.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I guess we can talk about well, before we do that, I also want to do a shout out to I met our biggest fan. This man, actually, he went to the Kennywood event with me. He has listened to every episode of the Movie Zealots podcast.
Oh, sweet.
Every one. Why would you do that to yourself? I don't know. But he has done it. Vince, shout out to you.
He loves the clown show. Oh, wait, no, the other one we were clowns.
That's
right?
the other one we're clowns. This one we're just fools. Yeah, so, yeah, he's watched every episode, or listened to every episode, so that's pretty awful. So he must hate himself. But thank you, Vince.
Yeah.
Go, tell a friend or a coworker or a neighbor, and let's get some more people listening. That'd be cool.
Parole officer?
Whatever it takes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, psychiatrist, whatever.
Also, don't behave, make them listen to this podcast.
And Vince, go on to iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, whatever you listen. I don't know how he listens. And give us a 5-star review. Come on, man. You listen to every episode. The least you can do is give us a review.
Just review it. Huh.
At least, iTunes, we have 0 reviews. Not one person has reviewed us on iTunes, which is probably a good thing. But
Probably, iTunes, they're not nice people there.
Yeah, I could use one. Just give me 1 5-star. Like, hey, these guys are pretty good. Listen to them. You know what I mean? They have shit taste in movies, but All right, speaking of shit and movies, let's talk about the new Breaking Bad movie, El Camino. Now, Joe, you and I both saw it. Paul, A, did you see Breaking Bad TV series? B, have you seen this movie?
No, and no.
Okay, good enough.
All right.
All right, so I know people got really excited about this, and we're doing this in the cutting room floor and not as a movie because, quite frankly, it's an extended episode, right? I mean, it's not a movie. Like, Paul, how you were talking about Downton Abbey, how you felt like it's just another episode. This is exactly the same thing. Like, this is literally... That's a
much better comparison. I was going to compare it to the X-Files movie, but no, this was actually good.
Yeah, I enjoyed this, but it was just another episode of the TV show.
It was a much needed episode as well, I think.
I argue it wasn't. I argue he goes off to the sunset. Really, ultimately, at the end of this movie, the only piece of additional information you have is that what's-his-face is actually dead.
Walt.
They confirm that, the main star. Walt's dead. But ultimately, you expect him to get away, drive into the sunset. This tells
Walter's dead?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to...
There's no point watching it now.
Why watch the series?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, sorry, Paul. You know what? I'll cut this out so that way you won't hear it. But ultimately, he at the end of the series, he drives off into the sunset, or sunrise, I guess, as it were, in this scenario. And you suspect he gets away and lives the rest of his life. However, so he does so. This just gives you 2 hours of how he got the funds together and he left to get out. That's it. Like, it doesn't... Nothing major happens.
No, but it was really enjoyable. I mean,
yes, but
Badger and Skinny Pete. I mean, it was just a fun.
But it wasn't needed. Like, it didn't. Again, the only thing it did was say, "Hey, Walter is dead." That's the only thing. New.
Walter's dead, and it let you know that Jesse is okay, right? I mean,
but you would have known that anyway.
To care for the whole movie, and
in the series, he drives off. You assume that.
Yeah, but
I mean, there's nothing like. After I watched this, there's no other than Walt being dead. The confirmation of that, nothing new. Like, I could have not watched it and had the same. I'd have felt the same way. The same thing would have happened just by the end of the TV series. I was like,
yeah, but this made me happy to watch it.
What they should have done, come out with like maybe a 6. They could have easily pieced this together for 6 episodes, right? I mean, there's no way.
That would have been bad. They would have ruined it.
I don't know. I mean, this just seems.
I mean, this was
pointless.
Already getting pretty close to the line of ruining a good thing, right?
But they could added some more stuff. Get Saul involved. Bring back the whole mirage of people. But this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the time though has gone. So I mean, Todd was already stretching it with his weight.
Yeah.
I mean, this was definitely Fat Todd.
Yeah.
Right, I was starting to look at and they even made a joke about how skinny Jesse was, and he was clearly fat.
Yeah.
It's like, this is not gonna.
But
he has, he's probably a good 20, 30 pounds heavier than he was when the show was filmed.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not fat, but I mean, compared to what he was before, he is no skinny kid anymore.
If you watch the last episode, then watch this. Yes, there's definitely, you'd be like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, and Todd, he
got bigger. Yeah, but all right, what are you gonna do? Yeah, well, they're flashbacks. All Todd stuff was flashbacks, so it could be just Jesse thinking that's what he looked like. I don't know.
Wow.
That's his interpretation of Todd as he thinks back.
He always thought of him as heavier. All right, you just won right there. I'm done. That's it. I love it.
But yeah, this is I don't know. I'd say it was a money grab, but it was released on Netflix, so I'm not. They didn't really make any money on it. Yeah,
I liked that a lot more than that. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, again, when I sit down and watch a movie, I expect, like Paul was saying, things have to happen in a movie. Like, it's got to be bigger. It's not. This was literally just 2 episodes squashed together to make one movie, to make a quote unquote movie, which
Yeah,
Nothing
sure.
happened.
Had I been one of the 8 people that went to a theater to see this, I probably would have been unhappy.
Yeah. I mean, this is a movie, so yeah, I don't know. Well, whatever. What are you gonna do?
It belonged in the universe. It didn't feel, the cinematography was the same as in universe. It fit though. I mean, if they would have blown it up to a movie, it wouldn't have fit the world that they'd built for Breaking Bad.
But it is a movie. That's the problem. It's a movie. It's not that's why I said if you make it into a mini series, let's make it a 3-part. Like what's the smallest mini? You can make 3-part, 3 50-minute episodes, like a mini series, like the finale, and add a couple things. Bring Saul in just for some flashbacks. You could have made this into something else, and then it would have fit as a standalone movie.
But by the time this happened, Saul was already gone, right?
I don't know what. No, but it's flashbacks. I mean, that's how they brought everybody else back. Have a couple of flashbacks or something. I don't know. You could have, yeah. I don't know. If you're doing this for fan service, then do the whole thing. Let's bring everybody back and you make it into a mini series. And then if it was anything but a movie, I'd be like, okay, yeah. Again, it'd be unnecessary, but I'd be like, oh, I see it. But as a standalone movie, yeah, like, what's the point? Anyway.
Wow, I like that a lot more than you.
With that said, it was a great movie.
And you're just like crapping all over it here. Holy cow.
It's just not a movie, though. That's the problem. But I digress. And I wonder what percentage of people in our audience actually watch Breaking Bad and watch this. So let's move on to the most important thing. No, not Joker review. No. This
More
is
cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
And this is, I also said, and I'm holding up. I'm following through with all the things that I said in past episodes. I have a complete list of all my stats for AMC for my 1-year membership, and now I'm gonna go over it. You guys excited? Oh, Paul, relax, buddy. He's doing a dance.
He's actually dancing.
Paul's excited.
Holy cow, we need a video.
He's
feed
doing
for
the
this
jig.
podcast.
Wow. I may need a bathroom break. It's just so exciting.
All right. So like everyone knows, I had 1 year of AMC Stubs A-List. That's their subscription service where I pay $20 a month and I get to go see as many movies. Well, 3 movies a week. Any format, however, but 3 movies a week. So I recently canceled on my 1-year anniversary. And I am like everyone knows, I am a stats person, so I kept very good notes on exactly everything I did. So I'm now going to give you a summary of my 1-year experience with AMC Stubs and find out if it was actually worth the money. All right, 1 year AMC Stubs. Do you guys want to guess how many movies I saw in 1 year span? Now, maximum 3 movies a week. So there is a cap.
So I'm guessing about 80.
Oh, yeah, 80.
Oh, I was thinking in the 40s, 45.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, you know what? If you guys split the difference, you're right on the money. It's 65. Now, technically, it's 63 unique movies. I saw Avengers Endgame and Captain Marvel twice. So 63 unique movies, but I went to see 65 movies total in that year. The most movies in 1 month was in May, where I saw 9. The least movies in 1 month was in January, where I saw 2, which makes sense, because let's face it, that time of year, it's not a good...
January is terrible for movies.
Yes. Average movies per month were 5.4. So that's my average monthly intake. Most savings in 1 month. So this is how much the ticket price would have been minus the subscription price I paid. Was May, obviously, because I saw the most movies in May. Mm-hmm. Also, literally yawning into the mic. Wow. Oh, he's down. Paul's down.
Wow, you killed Paul.
About time. Most savings in 1 month was in May, obviously, because I saw the most movies. That was $74.46 in savings.
Now, your theater only had one format screen, though, right?
No, I had 3D, so I could see 3D as well.
Did you ever see 3D?
I did. Actually, I don't have that stat, but it's very. I mean, if it's more than 6, I'd be amazed. It wasn't very.
Now, were you counting when you came down to Virginia Beach and saw the AMC movie down here?
Yep,
with the
any
big
movie.
Screen and the...
Yep, any movie. Any AMC,
okay.
Anything I used my subscription for is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So least was in January, of course. I actually was negative. I was minus $4.97 subscription to what I would have paid for ticket price.
Mm-hmm.
Again, because I went to see 2 movies, and probably one of them was a matinee. So yeah. The day of the week I saw most movies, Thursday, which makes sense because I always, that's when the movies, like the sneak peeks come out.
The movie comes out.
Yeah, so I 14 times I went. The day of the week that I least went to see movies was Monday. Again, right after the weekend. I saw 3 movies on Monday. Not very often. Oh, I also have times. I don't know why I did this.
You're not going to go through the times in every movie.
All right, 9 a.m. I will say this. I went to see, between the hour of 7 p.m. and 7:59 p.m., I went to see 17 movies, which is the most. Second place was 8 to 8:59 p.m. The least was noon to 12:59 p.m. 0 movies. I never saw a movie that started between noon and basically 1 p.m. That was weird, right?
So can't interrupt your nooners.
Yeah, that's right. That's very strange. I don't know. But so overall, I spent $609 in ticket value, or would have been my ticket value. Oh no, okay. So my savings, $370.27. My savings for the year. But there you go. So those are all my stats for the AMC Stubs A-list. Now, Joe, what are yours?
I have stubs, and my wife also has stubs, thus making it.
Oh, so you have a ton
Twice
of
as
spreadsheets.
nice.
Yeah.
And I've seen a bunch of movies.
Okay.
Not quite as many as you, but even less lately.
Oh wow, yeah, me too. Yeah. Well, again, this time of year.
I used to go with my son all the time.
Yeah, he left you. Yeah.
Yeah, he left, and so now I see many less movies.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm gonna get the Regal, and then I'll be back in the saddle. Now, Paul, you still only have. So, do you have a Regal out where you live, Paul?
Really, the only one that's close to me. There's an AMC, but it's like a half hour. I mean,
Okay.
the one that the movie closest to me is a Cinemark, and it's
Got the one movie per
like
month.
10 minutes. So if that. So.
Okay. There you go.
What you gonna do, right?
Does anybody have any more?
I
from the
do.
Oh, okay.
I have a cutting room floor.
All right,
It's
well.
one thing watching Joker.
Just
During
Joker.
the trailers, there were 2 separate trailers for Knives Out.
What? You had 2 separate different trailers.
Yes, and they were different. They had a Knives Out trailer, and then it had trailers for 1 or 2 other movies, and then another Knives Out trailer.
I wouldn't be opposed to that because I want to see that movie. I think those trailers.
I want
are
to see it,
phenomenal.
but I was shocked. I'm like,
That's weird. Yeah.
did we just see a trailer for this movie and it was different?
That is strange.
And it's starting to make me worry though, because I'm like, man, if they're promoting it this hard, it might be terrible. And they're just trying to get that first week bang, right? Like,
Well,
I hope this movie doesn't suck.
They'll
'cause
probably
I
get
wanna see
mine
it.
because I want to see that. Yeah. That is weird. That is
Yeah,
strange.
it's the first time I've ever encountered that in a movie.
Huh. Yeah. There you go. Very, very peculiar. You guys have anything else from the cutting room floor?
No, I just saw. I had a note about this lady parked so badly one time at the movie theater that I just thought it was funny and wrote a note, but it's probably not really counts.
Was that your note? Is that all?
Yeah, because she almost hit my car. I had to stand there outside the movie theater and watch her attempt to park for like 5 minutes to make sure she wasn't going to hit my car.
Wow. Jeez.
She tried to enter the parking space at like a 15-degree angle.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a good idea.
And then traffic locked up around her because someone pulled up within like 2 inches of her rear bumper, and then someone
jeez.
pulled up right in the front, and there was this horrible gridlock. She ended up getting out of her truck and waving people, directing traffic by hand to get people through till she could drive somewhere else.
Oh my God. Wow.
It was quite entertaining. It really has nothing to do with movies, but it was at the movie theater.
You should put your summon on and have your car just back out and come to you. Yeah. Wow.
You should be throwing holy water at it. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. All right. There you go. Paul, what do you got? Anything?
Nothing. I like.
All right. Let's get right into the feature presentation then.
And now our feature presentation.
This episode's feature presentation is Joker. Tagline, put on a happy face. Released October 4th, 2019. Director Todd Phillips. You may know him from movies such as the Hangover movies, all three of them, Due Date, Starsky and Hutch, Old School, Road Trip, and the announced untitled Hulk Hogan biopic that's yet to that's going to come out. That'll be interesting.
See, his entire filmography gives you no clue of anything about this film. It is so weird.
Oh, no. Yeah, if you look at his stuff, you're like, oh, it's going to be a comedy or something of weird.
Yeah, and how would it have anything to do with this movie whatsoever?
Yeah, no.
I'm pretty sure that somebody else filmed this in his name. It's like his kid or something.
Rating is rated R. Runtime 2 hours and 2 minutes. Starring Joaquin Phoenix, Robert De Niro, and Zazie Beetz. Or Zazie Beetz. I'm not really sure. Zazie. That's unique. I've never heard that name. Zazie Beetz. Description. In Gotham City, mentally troubled comedian Arthur Fleck is disregarded and mistreated by society. He then embarks on a downward spiral of revolution and bloody crime. This path brings him face to face with his alter ego, the Joker. IMDb gives it 8.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes critics give it a 69, while the audience gives it an 89. Box office budget, $55 million. Opening weekend, it made $96 million. Gross in the U.S. so far is $264. In worldwide gross is $776 million. Notes. This movie is meant to start a new company that will produce standalone DC movies. The first film for this DC Black Label. So, there you go. Joaquin Phoenix's first role in a comic book film. He previously turned down the title role in Doctor Strange, as well as a chance to replace Edward Norton as the Hulk in the Avengers, because he was unwilling to sign on a multi-picture deal that Marvel Studios was requiring. Isn't that crazy? This guy
turned on Marvel twice?
He's all about the art, right? I mean, this guy, like, he literally puts his money, his wallet where his mouth is. Like, he's like, no, I don't want to do this that many times. I don't care. Get that truck of money away from me. That's unreal. Unreal. Joaquin Phoenix lost a lot of weight for his role as the Joker. It was so serious that filming could only be done once, with no opportunity for reshoots. Todd Phillips had to write the script during production. That was all one thing. I'm not really sure.
What was he? Did he just copy Taxi Driver right away, or did
Wow. And the first theatrical DC Comics film to be rated R since Watchmen, 2009, released 10 years earlier. So that's all the notes I have for this movie. Any thoughts? Who wants to go first? I can go first if no one wants to take the lead. Because this is a really mixed bag for me.
I honestly have. Usually I go in, I know what I'm going to say here, but I don't know how I feel about the movie.
This is a very polarizing movie. I have friends who absolutely hated it, thought it was the worst movie of all time, and I have friends who absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I hear it generally falls into, well, I guess there's three camps. There's, wow, this is so socially, what would you call it, irresponsible to make this movie. And then there's the, wow, this was boring. And then there's the, wow, this is an interesting, psychological evaluation of a man, all that crap. And I don't know which one I fall into. I keep thinking it was going to fall in place. So convince me, Tom. Let's hear yours.
I wish
you'll convince me one way or the other.
I'm in the same boat, though. I don't know. I guess I'm like down the middle. I mean, I could see. I understand all sides. Like, it was a very slow burn. It was a very slow movie. It was disturbing. I was watching it, and unlike people who I talked to who I guess picked up on the thought that on the fact that half the stuff going on was just in his mind. I never picked up on that until he was sitting in that girl's apartment when she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong apartment," and you realize that he never actually interacted with her. It was like all in his mind.
So you never figured out that
no,
half the movie was in his imagination?
Not until that point.
Oh,
did
that
you?
Would be really confusing.
I right away when she said that Thomas Wayne was his father, I thought this whole thing's going to be an unreliable narrator, right? And that she's an unreliable narrator, and so is he. So you're not going to be able to trust anything you see, which kind of makes it confusing because you have no idea what part of any part of the movie went on, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
in the very last scene, he's sitting there talking to a psychiatrist. It's almost like the whole movie was in his head. Like nothing actually happened. Like none of that.
Yeah,
really
because half the psychiatrist conversations were in his head too.
yeah.
You noticed that when he would go off on the psychiatrist saying, "You don't listen to me," I'm all this, and he's going on. The psychiatrist never reacted.
Yeah,
it's because he never said it.
Yeah.
I kind of picked up immediately because as soon as they showed him and the neighbor lady, they had the elevator scene where they interacted briefly.
Yeah.
And then he awkwardly did the gun thing to his head. The next time they were together, it was I went, "Oh, this is just his psychosis."
Yeah, I never picked up on that.
Because she never gave any signal in the elevator that she had any interest in him whatsoever. And next thing you know, they're together, right? And the comedy club, they showed him with his notes, because he was laughing at the wrong time.
Oh, he was bombing.
And he's writing down the dumbest things in the notebook, right? You read his notebook, he's like, "Sex always funny," right?
Yeah.
Because he just has no clue what's funny,
yeah.
right? And so then when he's doing his comedy and the audience starts eventually laughing and stuff like that, that was obviously
what was weird.
They showed her in the club, like, "Oh yeah, this is totally fake."
I thought maybe it was just a weird, like, I thought when he started banging the girl, I'm like, oh, well, maybe like she somehow gets killed. And then that is the turn where he needs to become dark and start, becoming the Joker. Like I took it for face value, the whole movie until that point. I'm like, oh, so now like when I review movies, the rewatchability for me is one of the things that how I rate it. And this particular one, like normally I don't think I'd watch this again, but because I didn't realize it till late. I would want to watch it again just to see with knowing now that half the movie, probably everything in it is probably not real. It'd be very interesting to rewatch it.
Yeah, but minimum half of it never happened, and possibly none of it happened. Right.
But other than that, this is not a movie that I would rewatch. Like this is not like I wouldn't. I mean, I would watch it the one more time to get a clear picture of what's going on, but then I probably wouldn't watch it again. Or maybe I'd watch the end because I like the end.
Yeah, it's so slow. It's so
very slow. Yeah, like if I watch this at home on Netflix, I would have fallen asleep most definitely.
Really, I was occupied this whole film. I mean, obviously there was no new story until the third act, right? I mean, it was obviously rehashed. Like Paul said, it's Taxi Driver. Right? So I mean, we've all seen this film before.
Yeah, and
there was nothing really new in it till the third act. It really kind of it starts to assert itself as its own film.
Yeah,
but I thought it moved along I know it was very slow, but it moved along very quickly in my mind.
Yeah. I'm just saying
didn't feel it dragged at any point.
I didn't say it was drag as much. For me to fall asleep at home doesn't take much. But
it's just narcolepsy.
And I'll agree with you. People that said that this was boring, I'm not sure I see that. I don't see that it was boring.
I would not say that either.
I don't think I would watch it again though.
Yes.
Because it was so slow and nothing. And they are true. Nothing happens once you've seen it. know nothing really happens till the end, right? I mean,
yeah, I'd catch the last part of it, but there's really no need to rehash the beginning of it.
I mean, I think it's an attempt to make the bad guy to someone that the audience feels for and likes, right? I mean, Tom, I know you naturally go straight to the bad guy's side. So
that is true. That is true.
You don't need the first 2/3 of this movie. You've always been a Joker fan. I see what he means.
Well, even at the end, Robert De Niro just brought him on to make fun of him. So yeah, shoot him in the head.
Yeah, I mean, you're the first person to take Thanos' side. So,
just trying to help the people,
I mean, they made him sympathetic, right?
Oh yeah. People.
And did he kill the neighbor lady?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he. I hope he didn't, but I think he did.
Who's this? I'm trying to remember. What part is this? The neighbor lady.
At the end when he showed, she's like, "Who are you? Why are you in my apartment?"
Oh, the one he was banging with the girl, the kid. No,
yeah.
Why would you think he killed her?
Because they just cut away. They don't show him actually responding.
Yeah,
right. I mean, otherwise, if he was just like, "Oh, I'm left," or "Why are you acting this way?" and just kind of threw it for fit.
No. She didn't.
I think he killed her.
No.
I think it was implied that he killed her.
Yeah, I think so too.
I must have been way off. I mean, I didn't pick up any of this stuff going.
and the little girl, right? I mean, that's kind of part of the
package.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe he killed. Because I'm like, I'm trying to hang on to. I really want to like him, but I'm like, man, he's killing her.
at that point, my mind was just racing. Like, holy shit, what did I just watch that didn't actually happen? So, I wasn't thinking anything. I was like, oh my god, what? Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah. So Joe, you have a more clear cut opinion of this movie then. It sounds like you.
I truly enjoyed the movie.
All right. So what rating would you give this movie?
I thought it was a first run movie.
Wow, really?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't all new. I mean, granted, you had the stories rehashed, but the third act, saved the whole movie. I think it was so good that it was worth watching it.
So you would watch it again?
I would.
Like I said, I'd watch the last part. But I would not.
Yeah, when it releases DVD or whatever, I get a digital copy. I do intend to watch it.
I can't.
I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. That third act was so good and revived the whole thing, and he was a likable character. And I really want to watch the earlier parts and find out what how much is real, how much is not real, type of thing. Where was his imagination at the time? There's still some questions.
The fact that the third part had to save the first part, wouldn't that in essence demote the movie a little bit? Like lessen, like it needed saving. Wouldn't that be like? Oh,
yeah, maybe, but I think it did it so well that I think it's a good movie. You may have the argument for second run there.
Yeah. Let me ask anybody else. Was it off-putting to anyone else that Robert De Niro played a late night TV show host? Now I think there was another movie where he played a comedian in another movie, but he just doesn't fit the bill to me. Like there's so many other actors that could have played that role that would have felt so much more natural. He just naturally he doesn't fit that to me. Like I guess I've seen him in too many other movies. Like I have him typecast now.
You're thinking of Goodfellas.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah. It was very weird. Like wow,
but the scene where De Niro came down on him though, right? Because I can't picture a Carson or a Leno really hammering Joker at the end.
Yeah.
Right, and that De Niro that really brusque quality he has.
Yeah,
I think
that's true.
Really helped that last scene with him.
Yeah, it was a little weird for me. Like,
I couldn't picture a comedian pulling off that last scene.
Yeah, it's more like a talk show host, and I can't even think of which talk show host would be like a daytime talk show host would make more sense. But I can't even think of somebody that
Jerry Springer, his ass.
Yeah, but I don't feel like Jerry's. Well, maybe.
You're also not the father of this baby. Jerry. Yeah, it was interesting. I thought, that's an interesting role for him to take. But yeah, it was good. I still liked it.
I think it was needed someone with his demeanor for that last scene for it to work.
Yeah, possibly.
Because he had to turn on him and be really heavy against him, right?
Yeah.
I guess if you're going to plagiarize a movie, you should
use the actor. Yeah.
Use the
same actor.
Yeah.
Well, I know one thing.
At this point, every story has been told, Paul. So I'm already forgiving the overt plagiarism and retelling.
And it's not just Taxi Driver, right? That it's that. This is definitely like a template for a story. Someone almost like, was it Falling Down? Was one of those similar where it was like,
just a man, Douglas?
Yeah, losing his mind, right?
Yeah, that was great.
Although I guess you could argue that he didn't lose his mind; he just never had it in this one. But yeah.
Yeah, it tried to rope in some of the social stuff as well. The failing, the society's failing the insane
the funding. Yeah.
So
right, just kicking people on the street, and then they had to bring in the whole inequality, and
and there's an argument to be made though that you don't ever explain the Joker, right? That he's always this big black box of just pure evil, right? And you're not supposed to understand him, and whenever he tells his own origin stories, they're always contradictory, and like in the Dark Knight, right? When
he kept changing.
He tells two different stories about
how he got
his
scars.
Smile,
Yeah, they never matched, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you could argue that this is bad for as the character. You don't want to explain it, right?
And really, you still don't know anything because if it's all in his head.
Yeah, you don't really. Well, some of the story though, just not why.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I just don't know how to rate it because, again, it's not a movie that I would I mean, other than watching it one more time because now I kind of. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we're all off and everything did happen, and who knows? I don't know.
I think I'm going to solidly put it in streaming. I know that doesn't sound good. It's just there are things about the movie that I did walk out going, oh, it was okay, but there are some really disturbing, probably uncomfortable things that I don't know that they actually address them. They just throw it up there on the board, right? They don't actually like offer any sort of I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying. There's no catharsis or resolution to the problem. But
yeah, I walked out of the movie thinking, oh, that was good. I like that. It was a good character study. Just watching some dude just go nuts. Also, I was like, did anything actually happen? Because that last scene, and getting the revelation that maybe like half the movie was in his head, like,
Yeah, the whole thing happened in the psych ward, and he killed the psychiatrist and left.
And the more I think about it, the more confusing it gets. The more like, is this really a good movie? Like, I definitely, it's not a type of movie that I would rewatch. But does that mean it's a bad movie? I don't know. It's like for me, that always plays a part into my rating. Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, I was teetering between stream and second run, and I think I'm going to err on the side of caution and go with stream. I'll go with you, Paul, because Joe's already got our high. We have to rely on Joe for a first run. It's just scary.
We have to balance it out, right?
Yeah.
The average is going to have we got to kick it down a little bit.
Well, I actually have a note here, and I said, now, Tom can now tell us why I'm wrong. Because I just felt that my rating was no good, and I'm like, man, I know Paul's going to come out with something logical and smash me as to why it was no good because it's a taxi driver.
I honestly, I mean, I really think if y'all didn't like really into it, you kind of could have convinced me, or maybe I would have just been, what contrary wise, and but you know what I mean. I didn't know how I felt about it. It's tough.
And I think the real lesson learned here is that you should not give computers to anybody involved in the DC universe. Because they do much better with a pen, even copying a script, than they do with CGI monsters.
Yeah. I will say this.
I tell you what, I would watch this over Aquaman every day.
No way. Are you insane? I would definitely watch Aquaman over this.
Seriously.
Aquaman.
Okay, now we need the actual answer here. Paul, what is
Aquaman is a much better movie.
I think Aquaman has more rewatchability.
Yes.
I'm not even saying that I don't think I'd sit down and watch all of Aquaman. I wouldn't put it on. But if it was on TV, I might put it on as, background stuff. Whereas I don't think I'd put this on for that.
Hey, Wonder Woman or this, Joe?
Oh, Wonder Woman.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Wonder Woman was a better movie. This was actually, it gave me hope again for origin stories that they don't have to be generic cookie cutter comic book schlock.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Wonder Woman was a better movie than this, but I really thought this was a good movie.
I mean, I liked it. And let me tell you something, if they somehow came out with a sequel, which Joaquin probably would never do.
I hope not.
I'd probably go see it.
I think that would ruin it.
Yeah. No, it's just it's too abstract to ever, like, if you made a sequel, then you would have to admit to what part of this was real and fake and everything.
And I think it would ruin it. It would retroactively ruin this movie, right?
However, I mean, let's face it, the Joker's character really came into form, and like we said, he was entertaining the most at the end. So if you get a whole movie of that, I'd be down to watch that. But again, I think overall it would ruin.
They don't even bring this Joker back for the next Batman. They got to let this thing die on the vine. And
no, there was no intent. Right? From what I read, this is a completely standalone. This is not intended to go into anything else. It's just one and done. That's it. So, yeah,
it was like Solo, except with actors.
Dude, maybe this
Solo was good.
Batman, and not the Silver Age Batman. Oh, sorry, comic book nerd thing.
Oh, jeez. Now we're gonna get all the comic nerds to turn the
here we go.
off.
Yeah, Paul's bringing in the much needed comic book nerd demographic.
All right, well, so stream, first run, and stream. So go out, see it for yourself, and you tell us what you think. Also, you know what? You can do that too, because now I release these on our YouTube channel, so you can go back, listen to, well, the last 2 episodes, and including this one on YouTube. So if you have an opinion or you want to say something to us, go to the YouTube comments of this one episode and type something in, and we'll reply. At least I will. Not about these other two jokers. But I will, most definitely. And we're talking to you, Vince. Go out there, comment on this. He doesn't. The funny thing is, I asked him, I said, so have you watched all these movies? And he's like, no, I don't watch any of them. I don't watch movies. For the most part, he hasn't seen any of the movies. He just likes to listen to us talk.
Okay, so you remember in, what is it, The Lost Boys?
Oh,
you had
I love Lost
the
Boys.
grandpa says,
Yeah.
Your TV? He goes, if I have a TV guide, I don't need a TV. Right?
That's right. That's Vince. That is
This
Vince.
is the grandpa from The Lost Boys.
The funny thing he said about, he said, he doesn't see the movies. And he said he just likes to listen to us talk. And he said how, Joe, you and I, would make crack jokes. And ironically, Paul's the straight man.
Wow.
Oh, that was wonderful.
Yeah.
That
So
made this
funny.
entire podcast worth doing.
Good times. All right. Well, unless you guys have anything else to add, we're going to let this one die. So I'd like to thank Paul and Joe for joining me on this episode. And until next time, that's a wrap.